Welcome back to another conference tournament prediction video, and today we're doing the WAC conference, and this conference definitely has the potential to produce a dangerous March Madness team. Utah Valley and Grand Canyon are both at the top of this conference, both very good teams. There's definitely some contenders in this conference as well. But before we get into our predictions, make sure you go check out our previous conference tournament prediction videos. We got like over 15 of them out already. Check all those out when you're done with this one. And stay tuned for the rest of the week because we will be posting a whole lot of content here coming up. We're going to be posting like 4 times a week. All the power conferences are coming up. It's going to be a crazy time to be on the channel. Make sure you go on there, subscribe if you are new. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the 8-9 game. Southern Utah versus Utah Tech. Now, both these teams really aren't that great. I mean, in the 8-9 game, you're not going to expect teams to be great. With Southern Utah, they're more of a defensive team compared to Utah Tech, with being more of an offensive team. They're kind of like similar if you look at like Utah Tech's offense compared to Southern Utah's defense, kind of like the same kind of split place, and same thing the other way. Um, the thing I like about Southern Utah is they defend the three very well. They're one of the best teams at doing so. They have they're number one in 3-point rate defense on Torvik. That's definitely good. And playing against a team that leans into their offense, I like their chances there. I'll take Southern Utah to go ahead and beat Utah Tech. But against Utah Valley, a lot of Utah teams here, I think Utah Valley does get it done. I just think they're playing hot right now. They won 9 games in a row. I just think they have too much. Honestly, I mean, they're just playing too well. Their defense is solid. I don't think Southern Utah can really do much. Honestly, I think Utah Valley would like blow them out. I don't really think it would be any somewhat close. Abilene Christian taking on Seattle U. This one is interesting. Abilene Christian, 16 and 15 on the season. I believe Utah, or not Utah. There's so many Utah teams. I believe Seattle U is like right behind him. Yeah, they tied in conference standings, both at 8-8. In the season series, though, Abilene Christian did beat them the most recent time, but Seattle U beat them earlier in the season. They split in the season series. When looking at Seattle U, though, they're the third highest ranked team in this conference. I think Seattle U should be able to get past Abilene Christian. I actually think they're a very strong team, and I think there could be a sleeper in this conference. Everyone's talking about Utah Valley, Grand Canyon. I think Seattle U, or Seattle, I guess. I don't know why I'm calling Seattle U. Seattle is definitely a very strong team. They have almost a top 80 defense in the country. I think that's very strong. They get to the free throw line a lot. They're a pretty solid rebounding team as well. They don't turn the ball over. I like that for them. I think they move on. In the 2-7 game, Grand Canyon versus UT Arlington. Now, the thing about Grand Canyon is I would really like this Grand Canyon team. They have a top 40 defense in the country, and they play at a very fast pace. I think that's a great recipe for success. But Tyon Grant Foster, name probably rings a bell. He's been on this team for a while. I think he's led them to a tournament win. Grand Canyon's a great team once again. The problem is he hasn't played in a month. Now, without him, they've been solid. They've still won 6 of the last 7 games. But I do worry about how that affects their ceiling a little bit. I think they'll beat UT Arlington. Like I said, I mean, they've been pretty fine without him. They're still a really good team without him, but I do worry how that impacts their ceiling here. Cal Baptist versus Tarleton State in the 3 versus 6 game. These are kind of just two boring teams, if I'm being honest. Nothing really stands out about either of these teams. I guess with Cal Baptist, they offensive rebound pretty well. They defend the 3 pretty well, but they're top 200 in offense, top 140 in defense. Tarleton State is pretty far down. When you look at Torvik rankings, they do have close to a top 100 defense, which is better than anything Cal Baptist has. The problem is they have a bottom 10 offense in the country. They don't turn it over, but they don't force any turnovers, so they really can't capitalize on anything. I don't know. I don't really like Tarleton State. I don't see really any positives about them. I'll take Cal Baptist to move on. I think they should be able to get it done. finished the season on a 3-game win streak, and recently they just beat Tarleton State by 20 points. I think Cal Baptist gets it done. Dominique Daniels Jr., by the way, averaging 20 points per them. He's a pretty good player. I like their chances. I think they move on. Utah Valley versus Seattle. I could actually really see Seattle winning this game. Like I said, I feel like Seattle is the team everyone's counting out in this league. This is a really good Seattle team. I really like a lot of their numbers. They don't turn it over. They get to the free throw line. Have a very strong defense in the 80s, which is crazy. And they're only about 20 spots behind Utah Valley. The problem is Utah Valley's offense, I just feel like, is way more consistent. The one thing I worry about Utah Valley is they don't shoot a lot of threes, which I feel like could limit their ceiling. But I think against Seattle, it should be enough. I mean, these are two really good defenses. Utah Valley is the team with the much better offense here. I just think that does it alone. I mean, they're gonna be the team that hits the big shots. I feel like in this one, with the offense just being much better. And I will say, I mean, it's a very strong defense as well. Both these teams very strong defenses. And Utah Valley very good at defending the three, much better than Seattle. So I think that could help Utah Valley. I think they move on to the championship game. Not to mention they've won 9 games in a row. I mean, they're extremely hot. And yes, Seattle was close. Utah Valley beat them twice. Seattle was very close in both those games, which makes me feel like they could win third time around. But I got to go with Utah Valley. They're just playing so good right now. And then Grand Canyon versus Cal Baptist. This is an interesting one because, again, I mentioned Tyon Grant Foster, Grand Canyon's best player, leading scorer, has been out for like the past month. And from what I've seen, I'm trying to find if he's playing. I can't seem to find it. I know he hasn't played because I saw a report from like a week and a half ago saying he was gearing up to play, but he didn't end up playing, and he still hasn't played since then. So I don't know what's going on with him. I can't find, like, I tried to see if he was playing. I couldn't find any confirmation he would play. I didn't find anything that said he was out for the season, which I guess is a good sign. With all that being said, I think Grand Canyon, even without him, should be able to take care of Cal Baptist. I mean, like I said, they've won 6 out of the last 7 games still, and granted, it was against some of the weaker teams in this conference, but Grand Canyon is still a top 85 team in Torvik. They still have a top 40 defense, or I guess top 41 defense, but you can round up, be generous. They're a top 10 team when it comes to free throw rate. They're top 15 team in tempo. I think they should have enough against Cal Baptist. Now, this is where I worry with Grand Canyon is, can they get it all the way through? Because I think if they do get into the tournament, they could be a very dangerous team, especially if Tyon Grant Foster comes back. The one thing I worry about here is, yes, Grand Canyon fast-paced team, very good defense. Utah Valley also has a very good defense, and their offense is about the same. Grand Canyon has 1 spot higher in offense and about 40 spots higher in defensive efficiency. Both these teams defend the three very well, but neither of them shoot very well either. So you can take what you want from that. The problem is even if Tyon Grant Foster does come back in this game or in this tournament, he hasn't played basketball in a month. He's gonna take some time. I don't know if he can get used to it in like 2 days or whatever it is. I'm assuming it's just back to back to back to back. I feel like I gotta go Utah Valley. Not only is there the injury question around Grand Canyon, but Utah Valley, I mean, they're first in this conference for a reason. They beat out Grand Canyon by 2 games, 15-1 in conference compared to 13-3. Yes, they have the same overall record, but Utah Valley's won 9 games in a row. They're the hottest team in this conference. I think they're playing the best right now. And granted, Grand Canyon did beat them last time they played, but that was with their best player. And I know he may come back, but like I said, how is he going to be 100%? How good will he actually end up being? And earlier in the season, Utah Valley actually beat Grand Canyon as well. So I think this would be a very good game, especially if Grant Foster does suit up to play. But I'm going to have to go with Utah Valley. Not as many question marks there. But I will say, if I could guarantee he was 100% and playing, I'd probably take Grand Canyon if I'm being honest. But I got it with Utah Valley. They're just, again, less question marks. I feel like there's a safer pick here. But Utah Valley, definitely not a bad team. I mean, if they get into the tournament, they'll probably be a 13 seed, maybe 12. I don't know. That might be a little high. 13, 12, 13, 14, probably 13, kind of in that range. This is a very good team. No disrespect whatsoever. But that will do it for the WAC conference tournament predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you get on there, subscribe, like this video, comment down below what you have in this tournament. Love to talk down there. Make sure you check out our previous conference videos, as well as stay tuned for more conference tournament prediction videos, because we're going to be posting like 4 times a week, or not 4 times a week, 4 times a day this week. It's going to be crazy. It's going to get wild here. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on the noties to make sure you don't miss whenever we upload. That's very important. But with all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. That is going to do it. I will see you guys next time.